Hi, I'm Bunny the lifeguard. Any of these alligators trying to mess with our swimming, I'm gonna wrestle them down. I'm probably having my way with them. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Boneyard Arcade Podcast. As always, I'm Lucky.
I'm Chloe.
I'm Grim.
And I'm Josh.
Welcome to the show. Look, I'm going to preface this very quickly and say later on we will have a break and we will be talking about Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald, which is Chloe is very excited about. But we are going to be doing a spoiler review. So when we say so, we're going to cut to a break and then we're going to come back after the break. And that's when we'll be talking about spoilers. So you're safe right now. You're fine. Until the break, you'll be sweet. But later on, we will be doing the spoiler thing. So just keep an eye out for that or an ear out, whatever. Cool. Great. Good.
Yay.
Wow.
Go team. How you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Pretty good.
Bad. It's been a busy week.
Why? What have you done?
I don't know. All sorts of shit's happened, hasn't it?
I like how for like 5 minutes Dan's like, nah, we won't talk about that. And you're like, okay, sit down. What are we talking about? Fast and Furious.
I don't want you. We're not talking about it yet.
Okay, fine.
It's not happening.
Ask Dan about Fast and Furious on Twitter or in the comments below.
Not until I fucking find out where I am first. Otherwise, it's pointless.
Are you playing right now?
Yes.
All right. Well, don't worry about it. We won't talk about that. What else has been happening? Went and saw Fantastic Beasts. Talk about that later.
Mm-hmm.
Stan Lee died.
That was a thing.
We were on.
Start on high.
I woke up that day, and I was over at Josh's. So Josh and I were like, he was driving to work, and I was in the car, and I was skipping through Twitter, and it came up on my Facebook that the name of my page had gone through, like a name change had gone through, and I was fucking stoked. So I took a screenshot, posted it on Twitter, and I'm like, hey, wow, look at my name change. Woo! Finally changed from Black Cat to Lucky Bones. And then I was scrolling through, and then I saw that Stan Lee had passed away, and I was like, fucking take the post down, be sad, because you are fucking sad. I started crying in traffic.
I know. Oh. I didn't want to break it to you. I'd seen it earlier
Had you?
that morning. Yeah. I was like, I don't want to bring it down.
I kind of figured it was. I mean, he was 95.
I was surprised that he seemed so fit and healthy, that he was traveling to Australia to do Supernova and whatnot.
Well, that was 3 years ago, don't forget.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well,
it was,
even still, I mean,
the
dude was in his 90s. That's impressive.
Yeah.
When I got
it's a long
to
haul
meet
flight.
him, I was still very thick in the Spider-Man phase. So it was I think it would have even been maybe 4 years ago, and even then, I mean, he's putting up with people all day, right? And he's putting on that happy, peppy attitude.
Yeah.
He's very fragile and tired.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he looks it.
Yeah.
Well, he looked it.
Yeah. But he always, every person that walked in and had a photo with him, he always had that same chirpy attitude, and it was really.
He was stoked by his fans.
Yeah,
you
he
can
was
tell.
good dude.
I think everybody saw it coming, but kind of you're like, it's going to happen, but you just don't expect it.
It was the day everybody was dreading, so they knew it was coming, but you were dreading it.
Yeah, and it's kind of just like Stan Lee's larger than life. He created whole universes and stuff. It's like, how does somebody like that, disappear?
It's
kind
weird
of thing.
because you're look at younger people who do dumb things, or you look at younger people who take risks in life and do all this crazy shit. And you look at them and you're like, oh, that person, they're not gonna live.
Yeah,
But then you look at Stan Lee, and I, speaking for myself, never once ever thought about when he's going to pass away.
Yeah, me either.
Or, anything like that. You never actually looked at him and went, he's going to die soon. He's 95. He had that attitude where you just kind of assumed he was going to live forever.
Yeah.
You never really thought about him leaving or not being in the picture.
Yeah.
I feel like as well, you always expect to hear oh yeah, no, they're ill with X, Y, Z. It's not looking good. It's going to come. There'll be news to sort of wean you into the idea that okay, this might be the end of it and time to say goodbye. But then all of a sudden, just out of the blue, bam.
Yeah.
And it's oh wow, it's like ripping off a Band-Aid. It's not good.
Yeah, it just comes out of nowhere. And for 3 days now, what are we, 3 days in from his passing, you still see tributes now just pouring in over social from people still just leaving little, I mean, Michael Jackson and all those people, big famous actors and celebs who have passed away. They pass away and then they get remembered every year on that day. But I feel like this is just going to be one of those things that just sort of drags on.
Yeah, he's he's a legend. You can't. Yeah. It'll never be people will forget.
Yeah.
When
about
you create
Stanley?
as much stuff, as many universes of wonderful stories and everything else, that just is a legacy in and of itself that will live on. So I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
I hope that with his cameos in movies, obviously because he can't do cameos anymore, they actually just have in every movie somewhere in the background or something, you know, at some stage it's interacted with. Just like a little memorial statue.
Oh yeah, you were saying
like,
that about you tweeted at Activision, I think it was, and you were like, hey, you should put a Stan Lee memorial
in the game,
in the game, which is a fucking mad idea.
Yeah, I think it would be cool because he's actually in the game. I don't remember at what capacity he's in the game. He plays a character. It might be like a pizza shop owner. I can't remember how I came across him, but I hope that in that story they have like maybe the pizza store closed down, but do a memorial for the character. That I think that would
like
be just
Seymour standing out the front of the fucking pizza place.
Yeah. I feel like that would be like, you know, kind of perfect.
But yeah, he was great and won't be forgotten. And everyone's like, it's gonna keep going. And it's kind of like, it's sad that he passed away, but you just know that people are like, he was fucking top bloke and he gave people so much, and he was so full of love and just like cool dudeness.
Yeah.
So
you're never going to have a comic book artist and that's what he originally was at the end of the day, who has that impact on people.
Yeah.
No one's going to remember any other artist the same way.
I don't know any other artists. But that's just because I'm not like thick in the comic book kind of thing.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, to me, if he would have passed away 5-10 years ago, people's attitude towards him now is still not going to change from when he was alive. Like, I think people are still going to see him as Stan Lee. And in films where he was supposed to have a cameo, there'll be something that reminds us of him, and it'll be the thing that people just see and they look out for it now in other movies.
Yeah.
You know?
They could put him as like an action figure in a box on a shelf.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Slow pan past.
Yeah.
Or like a pair of glasses, like,
That's
his classic style glasses and stuff. Like somebody picks up like that style.
So they're just like, you know, picking them off a shelf and you pan past that row. And
he's just scream, you know, hints. The man, and then they put him on and it's like, oh!
Yeah, that's it. That's what I mean. Like little cameos, background stuff. You pick up on it and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
That's cool. I think that'd be awesome.
So that was a big thing that happened this week.
I know, it was big.
And then like on total opposite end of the spectrum is fucking Detective Pikachu.
I know.
On the same day as well.
Was it really?
It was, no, because I remember I went through Instagram and the first thing that came up was Detective Pikachu on Ryan Reynolds' Instagram, and then following that it was a Stan Lee memorial.
Holy fucking shit. Universe is just like, well, bam, but then we got to give you something good, so well, bam, Detective Pikachu. Good is like, you know, subjective.
I didn't watch the trailer to it when I first saw like the trailer posted.
Yeah.
I was like, Detective Pikachu. Nah, you know what? Like, give me Pokemon in its original form. Give me Pikachu in its original form.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care about no Detective Pikachu movie. Like, I'm not interested. And then later on, while I was at work, it came up on my feed again, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna watch the trailer and just check out, you know.
Yeah, see what the hubbub.
My sister might want to go see it or something, you know. So I'll take my sister to it and check it out. And then I watched the trailer and I was like, surprisingly, I think this could be pretty cool. Surprisingly. I looked at it and I was like, this could be pretty cool. It's gotten a pretty big response from the internet.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know that this was a game first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was like really confused. I was like, I
haven't even watched the trailer. I've seen a tiny little snippet. I'm sorry. I'm a busy man, you know.
We literally said in the chat, wow, so many things have happened this week.
No, I saw.
Detective Pikachu was one of them.
I've been seeing.
Why you no watch?
Because no one linked it and I'm lazy. Also, you know what? Fight me. What I did see was somebody's argument about Jigglypuff having fur.
Yeah.
And someone, I can't remember who it was now. It might have been, I'm not even going to guess. But they're the horror that could have been like a cat skin
Oh,
Jigglypuff.
yeah, like a Sphinx cat skin Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
It would look like a testicle.
Yeah.
It already looks like a testicle.
Yeah, but it's furry.
Yeah, furry
like
testicle.
Chloe and
testicle.
I had this conversation about like, okay, so it's furry. There is a Guide to Kanto region book.
Yeah.
And it's illustrated as a furry creature from that region.
Is Pikachu a
Yes,
furry?
also furry.
Right.
Yeah.
And Peachy's a mouse, don't forget.
Yeah. It was also furry in this book.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a Jigglypuff?
Chloe and I were like, to me, what I assumed Jigglypuff would look like if it wasn't furry was like marshmallow.
Yeah, like kind of like gelatinous
Yeah, it
almost.
was like the same way that the Marshmallow Man was in Ghostbusters. You could have a marshmallowy Jigglypuff.
Like the texture of like an elephant skin or like
That's
a hippo?
rough.
Like
What's
a
more
soft, pokey
gelatinous?
sort of like a.
But I mean, as far as texture goes, if you blew up a marshmallow, you know, like where it's got all the cracks
but it
in
wouldn't
it.
be blown up. It'd just be like a really big marshmallow.
Oh, I guess you
Just
just get
solid-
more surface
Yeah,
area,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
What
fair
about
enough.
like
that soft
Right.
frog
pokey
skin?
sort
Ew,
of. You know?
dude.
But they're supposed to be animals, so it makes sense.
They're meant to be what?
Like animals.
Not
Yeah.
for
So-
Jigglypuff.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what the fuck animal is a Jigglypuff?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
What the fuck fuck is a Jigglypuff?
But don't forget, Pokemon, I think, I'm probably wrong, but I'm fairly certain it was also known as Pocket Monsters.
It certainly was. It's on the
That's on the
arcade
screen,
machine
right?
where it goes to the holding side. You will see it.
So I'm assuming that it's a monster, so it could be whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But then, like,
But it's got to fit in your pocket.
Yeah. Well,
Testicles fit in your pocket.
True.
Your testicles fit in my pocket.
True.
Bitch.
Ryan Reynolds doing the voice of Pikachu, though.
Why the fuck wasn't it Danny DeVito? What the fuck kind of missed opportunity was that?
I think they're concerned about the lack of potential personality that Danny DeVito would bring to it in comparison.
Did you see the dub?
No, I know. I did.
The Danny DeVito dub where he's kicking the shit out of the guy and he's like, "Your wife's a whore."
Yeah, that's what I mean, though.
I was like, "Damn, Detective Pikachu looks good." And then somebody was like, "Oh, that's not the real one." I'm like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Do you know what? Actually, if it was Danny DeVito, it would be just like the Toy Story 4 trailer.
Yes.
With the two little furry characters, like the fluffy little duck thing and
That's Key and Peele.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ducky and
other bloke.
It's a rabbit.
Old
I don't
mate.
know what it is.
Ducky and Bunny.
Yeah.
That's it. You're right.
Is it?
You're right.
Yeah.
I think you might be right.
That's so good.
Really?
Anyway,
That was a big guess.
sorry, I didn't mean to get sidetracked about
Sounds
Danny
right.
DeVito and
No.
Pikachu
Like
and
that
stuff.
makes sense because when I saw the dubbed version as well, I was like, that would also fucking work. But
Right?
then I guess Ryan Reynolds is so in
Yeah.
with these kinds of roles at the moment that they're
He's
like,
hip.
fucking, we need him, and
But
he knows how to sell a
He
movie,
was
man.
good though. Like
Yeah.
I still liked it.
I disagree.
You don't like
It throws
him?
me off so much. Okay, don't you know how much I love
I know.
Ryan Reynolds? You know how much
I know how much you love Blake Lively.
Yeah,
There's
But-
pocket monsters over there.
but I was not sold on Ryan Reynolds and Pikachu marrying together. I couldn't do it.
That's what
Like,
you're talking to.
I
Yeah,
know.
she gets like she's so excited.
You get excited, so you go back here. But that's good.
We've had the conversation
Yeah,
before where I
you're
speak
right.
too loudly, so this was natural default.
You know what? That's good. You jellyfished it.
Yeah, I jellyfished it. Just
Jellyfish.
Actually, that's what Jigglypuff should be. A freaking jellyfish.
But he's not
Bioluminescent. Bioluminescent.
Then he would just
No,
dry up
Jigglypuff's
and
not a
die.
he's
jellyfish.
jelly
Do
textured.
Do you
but
want
he-
Jigglypuff to dry up and die, Chloe?
Jigglypuff
Is that what
a
you're
male?
saying?
I'm talking
Are they female?
jellyfish texture.
I don't know if they have gender. Well, they must
Why
because they
don't you
You catch
reproduce.
them in the game. They've
They
always
got
got
gender.
like different genders and
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know whether they're.
I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't be a jellyfish because it's not.
What about Mr. Mime, though?
I
It's
didn't
a
want him
fairy,
to be a
isn't it?
jellyfish. Mr. Mime, I still haven't decided yet what that
He looks
thing
like a
is.
potato.
Yeah.
Maybe Jigglypuff is like when like rabbits have babies and they don't have
They're still a
they're-
fetus.
yeah, they're like
but
essentially a
skin.
fetus that came out too early, and
Yeah.
it's just this little like pocket of flesh, and it's
Yeah.
just like this little sack that
yeah.
They're
I
called
see what you mean.
much
Yeah.
much like a disembodied testicle.
Yes.
My
Only
imagination
with
was much
a
more
face.
innocent
with a
than that.
slime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
I could go with a
You come with an
slimy-
outer slime.
I
And
could
that's
go
what
with a
Jigglypuff.
slimy Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff has an outer slime. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, but you
That's
went with
canon now.
jellyfish.
Jellyfish was the first thing that popped into my head. I didn't have time to come up with naked rabbit fetus or whatever it was.
Yeah, the naked rabbit fetus was kind of weird.
Hey,
I
You
understand
know
that-
the dead
kind of
fetuses.
see through.
You're seeing into the
Naked
mind
dead
of a
fish.
genius.
Kind of see through where you can see what's going on inside.
Oh yeah, for sure. You'd be
I
able to
getcha.
see the veins. If you look, stretch the rabbit fetus, you can see the.
I've
the
been
beating
watching
heart.
Making of a Murderer for the last like 3 days straight.
And this is the
This
result.
is straight up textbook.
Yeah.
Wear your flesh as a suit.
No, look, I made a pigeon rat.
Is this where we link in Mr. Mime now? Is he part of the Making a Murderer thing too?
Mr. Mime reminds me of his face shape. Just reminds me of the centipede in James and the Giant Peach.
Okay.
I don't know why. I look at it, I'm like,
Thinking about it now that you say it, it reminds me of the caterpillar from Bug's Life.
Because he's always got that real like fucking
Yeah.
happy
Yeah.
face.
I don't think I ever saw Bug's Life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would have.
No, I didn't. I watched Ants instead.
Luckily for you,
Yeah.
luckily for you, the caterpillar in Bug's Life featured in Toy Story 3.
Yeah, he was really when he was chopping the plants to get to
Yeah,
big
he was a little
big
cameo.
ass toy barn.
2 then it was.
3?
wasn't it? 2.
Two.
One of.
Honey banger. It was 2. And then
Caterpillar.
he was in the deleted scenes in the deleted
Yeah,
scenes
yeah,
in
yeah.
the credits of it. I
Yeah,
think.
because what's his name? Flick? Was it Flick? Fuck, what's his name? I don't know. The bug, the main bug.
And
The bug with the life.
Yeah, I don't know. Was
The
his
life
name
of the
Ant? Was it
bug.
Ant?
no. I'm saying he was an ant, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, I think he's an ant. I don't
Was
know.
he?
He was
a blue
purple.
ant? Was he a fucking
purpley blue?
Fuck me dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
Because they were
Anyway.
talking about it, and then I think there's
Sorry.
like a whole thing about getting the same voice actor in,
Yeah.
and they were like, the dinosaur
because
and a whole bunch of other
he
things.
speaks like an adult Uda.
What?
What? What's
Oh,
an Uda?
Uda
What's an Uda?
from Simpsons.
Oh, Uta.
Oh, Uta, not Uta.
Uta.
At the age of the kind first.
He speaks
Such
like
a fucking Chloe
Silly
thing.
name, Uta.
Favorite line
but
ever.
older.
You don't think it's weird that Uta disappears and then suddenly they're serving us Uta Broughton?
Fuck, bring back
You
the
might-
old Simpsons. What the fuck,
I
man?
couldn't even tell you what a new episode of Simpsons is like because I haven't watched the new episodes at all.
I
It
feel like
lost
we
its
had this
character when it started to
conversation
do
recently.
digital coloring, like
Yeah.
pure digital coloring,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and they started to.
Is that when it lost its character?
Well, no, they did that for a while before it lost its character.
Yeah, they still kind of had my attention when the movie came out.
It was the movie was like not jumping the shark, but it brought me. Could you just calm down?
Here, drink more.
how to swallow. Yeah,
Go.
good.
Did some snot come out?
Oh,
Yee.
yum.
Did it go in my drink?
I'm just gonna call you
Extra
Bernie
tasty.
from now on.
Extra
I'm sorry.
tasty. Good work. Excellent.
That's gross.
Speaking of snot, and
Are you gonna
jelly
drink
and-
that whole thing? Yeah.
and whatever else?
I could check
I watched
It's not
a
good.
pretty wicked slow-mo guys today.
Oh,
It had rainbow jelly and a tennis racket.
It was pretty cool.
I urge you all to go and watch it because it was pretty.
It
Very
was pretty
I
good.
didn't have time for the Pikachu nonsense, but I did have time to watch Jelly getting thwacked
He
with
gets
a tennis
home.
racket.
He gets home and he's like, "Let's watch slow mo, guys." I'm like, "Why?"
wanted to watch
He's
it
like,
all day.
I want to
It
watch it.
worked.
I'm like, maybe, sure, okay. And he's like, "Let's watch Mighty Car Mods," and I'm like,
I did that too. It was good.
I hate when he gets home and he sits on my couch and he's like, "Let's fucking watch this," and I'm like, "I don't want to." He's like, "But I've been at work all day." I'm like, "I don't want to."
So I just went and watched it.
I don't know how you guys like live together.
It's funny because like so much of the time if I've had a very busy day at work because I'm like I've got this idea, I'm gonna draw it down, I've got this idea, let's go with this for that, I'll come home and not speak. I'll sit over there and be on the computer, or we'll sit and watch movies and just be very chill, where Chloe looks at me and she's like, "Are you okay?" Like,
Yeah, I
are
would
you
do that
honestly
too.
okay?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm busy, like I'm just doing my own
Yeah,
thing.
she caught me the other day sitting in the computer chair with my legs up on the couch. I was staring at this table and I don't know why. And she looked at me and she went, "Are you all right? The look on your face is like you're depressed." And I was like, "No, actually, I'm just not here right now."
I'm on a fucking another
Yeah, I
planet
was
right now.
elsewhere.
Like,
You just
I
brought me
even got
back.
up and gave a cuddle, and he was just like, "No, I'm
No,
good. I'm
no,
good."
no,
I'm
no,
like,
no.
"Okay, good. Now I
I
know
don't
you're
mind. I
normal."
don't like sympathy, especially when it's not like required.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, to be fair, the only reason I looked around is because I felt guilty because I went through 3 episodes of Shameless without even talking to him, and I was like, "Oh, I should say something."
I
now."
should turn around and be like, "I acknowledge your existence." Excellent, good. Okay, shameless now. Bye.
It was great.
I was ready to put my headphones on and just like drown you out.
Pokemon.
I know.
Just to bring it back.
Where did we go?
Are we interested in seeing it?
No.
I'll let you know when I've seen the trailer.
Yeah, you watch the trailer first. Yeah.
I want to see it for all the Pokemans, but the main story, it sounds like it sucks a bag's a dick, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
interested
I mean,
in
did you-
Detective Pikachu. I'm interested in Pokemon in physical movie representation
yeah.
form, real life,
I
not
was,
animated.
I was really kind of hoping that this movie would be the kickstart to that.
for that.
Yeah.
Because Pokemon is so fucking cool.
I feel like it's going to sell enough
Yeah. I
that
agree.
Disney's going to be like, Pokemon.
Maybe do Pokemon.
Invest.
Let's.
Do they own it at the moment?
No,
Oh, okay.
But
not
Will
yet.
you know
Nintendo
what
ever
happens
give
when
it
things
away?
do well.
Does Nintendo
Yeah.
own it? What-
I don't actually know
Who
who has
owns
the rights to it.
Pokemon?
I think
don't
it
know.
is a Nintendo exclusive thing.
Wait.
'Cause
I
I
don't
don't know, because then who was it who made
Was
Pokemon
Pokemon
Go?
a game before it was
Niantic.
anything else?
It was card game first.
Yeah, it
It
started as a
was.
card game, then
Yeah.
moved into.
So whoever.
I think.
Then it well, actually
Tell us
it,
who owns Pokemon.
it was either a card game. Yeah, I think it was a card game with a supporting cartoon.
Okay.
And-
No, cartoon wasn't it?
first.
Was
No,
it?
I thought it was.
Somebody tell
I
us.
thought it was a video game. When I know
Yeah.
Nintendo was a
Really?
card. They made cards first.
No,
Nintendo.
what?
Yeah. There's going to be some history. You're
Fuck
gonna have
me
to look this
dead.
up.
We need
Yeah.
a history lesson.
I'm
right
pretty
now.
sure that the rights to Pokemon at least must belong to Nintendo. It fucking has
Yeah.
to be, right?
Because I can't think of.
I
At
don't
least
think it's been on
components of it
anything
are
else.
yeah.
Like Pokken Tournament was on like Xbox, I think, wasn't it? Fuck, I don't know.
Dude,
I don't know, dude.
it's just like, look,
I don't
just
know.
like
But
Jigglypuff is maybe a dead fetus, like a rabbit or some shit. Chloe, do you want to go see Pokemon
I
Detective
actually
Man?
do want to go see Pokemon. Despite what I think about Ryan Reynolds horribly voicing Pikachu, I would still love to watch it.
I think it'll be fun, but I think it's literally just going to be the gauging.
Yeah,
like it's the
testing
measuring
the
That's
waters.
stick.
it's that stepping stone.
It's the
towards
measuring
next thing.
stick.
The franchise began as Pokemon Red and Green, released outside of Japan as Pokemon Red and Blue,
Which
a
are
pair of
video
video
games.
games
That's right.
for the original Game Boy.
Yes.
I'm gonna drink.
Then it
In
was a card game.
1996.
Yeah. Then it was a card game,
Yeah.
Wow.
and the cartoon
Today I
followed
learned.
it around that time as well, I guess.
I always thought it went card game and cartoon.
Nah, I know Nintendo was actually cards, I think. I'm fairly certain they were either tabletop or they were card games before they were digital video games.
Where's my phone?
Which is weird.
Ignore me.
But yeah, I think
That's blown my mind.
Yeah, crazy.
Is it in your bra?
I think that we're gonna see.
For the love of God, don't bump the camera. We're gonna see.
I think we're gonna see this being the first Pokemon movie for, maybe a different type of bunch of Pokemon movies coming up after. I think Detective Pikachu will be like the first little measuring stick, and then after that they'll be like, fuck, the world is Pokemon crazy. Let's
make a trilogy.
Let's make the cartoons into a movie, or make like Ash's story or some shit.
I'd be so fucking game for IRL Pokemon movies though.
Just as long as I can sing the theme song.
Pokemans, gotta get them all.
I think it'll be cool.
That's how it goes.
That's the theme, right?
Nailed it.
Maybe Usher should do a rendition of the Pokemon theme song.
Maybe Kanye should.
Whoa!
He's a visionary.
I mean,
Oh,
he'd be
that
the first
man
one
can
to see
do
them.
no wrong.
Fish dicks.
Yeah.
Just check my Twitter. You'll see what I think.
And the new Pokemon game comes out on Switch. Well, has come out on Switch this past weekend when this goes live. So
Dan's gonna be walking around with fucking balls all out his ass.
We'll be picking it up this
Did you
weekend.
get Eevee?
We'll have it by the time this goes live.
Did you get-
I fucking Pikachu, because I was like, you know what? Like, the original story for me as a kid watching the cartoon had Ash with Pikachu.
Yeah.
So for me to
It's
have
the
Ash in the
nostalgia
game,
factor again.
Yeah.
I'm like,
is
Eevee.
fair.
Yeah, my sister is getting the Eevee version. She really wants to get the Eevee version.
Eevee's her favorite.
Eevee's her favorite, but I was like, nah, let's get Pikachu. Fuck it.
That's mad.
Yeah.
You got to go with Pikachu.
Yeah.
Well, you'll tell us how it is when it comes out and
I'm
we
sure,
record
I'm sure
next
people
week.
will really like it. Reviews say that it's good so far. It's not out here yet.
It's
but
Pokemon.
yeah, it's like 8.5 out of 10, which
Fuck
is
yeah.
pretty high. So that's surprisingly good.
You know what else is high?
You?
No.
Damn,
I thought you had a follow-up.
No.
I was going to say, are you going to reveal a surprise with these brownies right now, Gabby?
I was legitimately as I was cutting them all up, and I'm like, I'm gonna take some to the podcast and take some and leave some for my mum. I was cutting them up, and then I put them on a plate and I covered it up, and I looked at them and I'm like, should I write a note saying that they're not pot?
Nah.
Nah. She'll figure it out.
Because if they ever were, then that
Yeah, well, but if I made pot brownies and I left them at home, I'd want mum to eat them. So I would write, yes, there is marijuana in these brownies. Please eat them.
Brownies
and
would
then
get eaten
come
regardless.
home to my mum absolutely ripped off her ass.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking great.
Oh my god, if that ever happens, please call me immediately. I would love to see
You guys will probably be there.
You'll probably be there.
You'll probably be
Eating
there already.
brownies with your mum.
Getting fucking high with my
I'm
mum.
brownies
guessing
with your
you'd
mum.
have probably instigated it.
Yeah.
Yeah, eating brownies with your mum.
She's...
Take her off to get some tattoos.
You know what? She'd probably be down for it. If you guys were like, oh, mum, that'd be so cool. She'd be like, yeah, I'll do it. I'm a cool mum.
Yeah.
Cool guy.
I'm not like those normal mums. I'm a cool mum.
Josh knows all the Mean Girls
Mammy is
quotes.
a cool mom.
She is. I'll get her on the podcast one week and be like, are you proud of us? And she, you know what she'd say? She'd be like, yeah, we actually really am.
And then we'd cut the camera and she'd be like, you guys are fucking losers.
she'd fucking smack us.
Be like, so this
Be
is
like,
what
"We're the
you do
brownies."
every week.
Yeah.
Oh, really wasting your time.
I thought you actually had a studio. It's your
My
bedroom.
mum-
Get the fuck out of
My
here.
mum likes this. My mum's very supportive of this. She
I
has
love
How's
you,
the
Mammy.
podcast. We love you, mum.
God, I hope she doesn't hear that impression.
She has Twitter as well. Did you know that?
Yes, because I follow Mammy on Twitter.
What the fuck do you follow her for? She didn't do anything.
I love Mammy.
Everybody go love my mammy.
My mum
She doesn't do anything.
Does she
Oh,
really?
Don't I?
Shit.
Oh, wait.
What?
Don't worry. I think it's from Hot Rod.
What? I think it's from Hot Rod.
Someone out there will get it.
We're so lost.
I made a joke today about the Logitech camera that I got for my my streamy doos, and I put a pair of eyes on it, and I said that I named it Denny because it likes to watch. And I'm like, I'm like, that's a really fucking obscure reference. I hope somebody gets. It's from The Room when Denny's sitting there and Lisa and Mark are about to fuck. Oh wait, no, Lisa and Tommy are about to fuck.
Yeah, and he's just
he's like, I just like to watch you guys.
Yeah.
And somebody got it. I think Liv fucking got it, and she was like, this name, and I was like, okay, good. It wasn't wasted. Anyway, that was my. Thank you for coming to my TED talk.
I was too busy focusing on the fact that the eyes move if you actually open the picture.
It goes like
It freaked
shimmer.
me the fuck out.
What
I'm
the
like,
fuck
am
is
I
that?
right
Listen.
now?
Yeah, because
Do
it's
you know what freaks me out about that? When people use that for censoring.
yes.
Because the fact that it's animated makes me think, and I might be wrong, that there may be a version of that photo saved on their server with no censor.
There is. You can get uncensored
You can get
photos
past
from
that.
those things. From what I know, I don't know if it was Snapchat or if it was Twitter that you can get uncensored. Like if you put a sticker on it from like Twitter, you can get the uncensored version somehow. I don't know. I could be wrong. Thank you for coming to my other TED Talk. I might be wrong about things on the internet. All right, maybe this is where we should probably take a short break. If you are hanging around for the Fantastic Beasts talk, it is coming up next in the next 30 seconds. If you don't want to hear spoilers, this is where you bounce. This is where we say goodbye. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and like and leave us comments and stuff.
Diddlies.
Follow the diddlies. All right, we're going to take a short break. Come back. Fantastic Beasts talk.
And I'll have finished my gummy worms.
Hello, welcome back. This is the spoilery half of the episode. This week we are talking about the Crimes of Grindelwald. It's going to get spoilery. Hopefully not too spoilery, but you've been fucking warned. So if you complain, then whatever.
We'll keep the really big stuff off the table.
Yeah.
Maybe just the last bit of that
just
movie.
just the big one.
The little thing at the end.
All right.
Protect the
The big little one.
Protect the secrets, hashtag. All right. I feel like let's just get a general consensus. Did you guys like it?
Yes. Yes, I did.
I liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay, good. All right, that's the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching. No, I really enjoyed it as well.
Oh, that's good. I will admit, it took me a couple of days to really like it.
Yeah.
Reason being, like I said last week, I was wanting to go in there with a complete open mind. I didn't want to critique it in the beginning. I didn't want to hate anything in the beginning because, like I said, it all attributes. It doesn't affect the main story in the end. It's a story in its own right.
Yeah.
So it took me a bit to like it after I watched it because I was trying to suss everything out and what happened.
Right.
Because I feel like everything that got fed to us was just a very big, anchor, on what you had to take in.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
It's really going to prepare you for the next few films. Did anyone else think
I
that
totally-
was a lot of information?
I felt like it was strangely paced, but only because there was so much information to take in, and I feel like they're kind of they tried to get as much in as they fucking physically could in that whole movie, and so I was like, I have no idea what's going on, but I'm kind of into it.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was good.
When
Go on.
you're going, you go.
I was just going to say I found the start was a little bit slow as far as pacing, but then it started to kick along and I was like, okay, I'm on board.
Yeah.
And slow doesn't necessarily mean bad. It's it's
No,
still the
definitely
Wizarding
not.
World, and it's oh, look at all these characters that I like, and I'm
Yeah.
seeing them again. But then it was kind of okay, give me new stuff.
And for all I know, that was just my impression because I was a little bit tired and I was it took me a while.
Old
to
man Josh, it's
wake
7
back
o'clock,
up.
the movie's starting,
Hey,
and he's like,
that's well
"Go
past
home."
my bedtime.
I know.
I feel like they probably did leave a lot of shit. Not they didn't put a lot of stuff in the movie. I feel like they could have had a 4-hour movie
I agree.
if you'd let them.
Yeah.
One thing I said to Chloe after it was finished was, for someone who I've read the first 2 books of Harry Potter, I've seen all the movies. Obviously, I've had to, and I've seen them multiple times. And I enjoy them. I like them. As I was saying to her on the way home, people would not know that she enjoys horror movies because of the extent that I love horror movies.
Right.
I kind of overshadow the fact that she likes them because I show how fanatical I am about them. And it's in the reverse order for Harry Potter. I
Right.
enjoy those movies. I quite enjoy them. I loved going there at Universal Studios and checking out the area. But that is overshadowed by the fact that Chloe is the Harry Potter geek. So to me, Harry Potter's awesome. I love the movie. I think they're great. When the first Fantastic Beasts was coming out, and then, obviously they've got a second one, I was looking at it going, I don't know how I feel about them doing movies that aren't Harry Potter, but it's about that world. It's that universe. But watching the movie and seeing little scenes where you end up seeing young Dumbledore on the bridge of Hogwarts, and he's looking at Newt, and they're sort of standing at distance.
I just got chills.
Yeah, I looked at it and I was like, there is so much that goes on in this world, and it is, I'm so interested in not just what happened in Harry Potter's world, but in the fact that at other times shit went down.
Yeah.
And people that mattered were hurt or died or had big parts in the world, and it makes you give a fuck about the fact that these people are doing stuff.
You get super fucking invested in it.
Yeah.
Seeing their life before Harry Potter and all that shit happened, before Voldemort.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there and I'm
it takes them away from being a 2D, you are the hero, you are perfect, you can, do no wrong, to it's that whole backstory of how did they become the person they are in those movies? Because there's, such a big gap in time between the two.
Yeah, and the first thing I thought was Harry Potter's got his future sort of set out for him. We're learning about the dude who you see as an old guy in all of those films as the wise wizard, but you're seeing what he went through before he had this kid to deal with.
The Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, and he's pushing all the kids in front of the boggart, and he's just remember, it's not real kind of thing. And I'm it's exactly what Professor Lupin said, word for word in that scene. I was like,
it was so well done, that bit.
I actually said to Dan, one thing I really loved about the Dumbledore you see here, it's a Dumbledore that could definitely make more mistakes than the older Dumbledore that you see later. So you're seeing not so much immature Dumbledore, but evolving.
Yeah,
Dumbledore.
before he was the all-being perfect Albus
and
Dumbledore.
People still see him as like a great wizard in this time period,
and that's what they say.
But he's young and susceptible to mistakes, and I think that's what's going to be great in the movies that come up.
Yeah,
especially because like him and like Jude Law and Johnny Depp playing the two characters were bloody
so good,
amazing.
So fucking good. I actually thought there would be more Dumbledore.
Yeah,
I was kind of disappointed that there was less Dumbledore.
I think we're going to be force-fed. Yeah, we're going to be force-fed so much Dumbledore later.
I got my dick in my hand ready to go.
Yeah, I think they're really dwindling it. Because I feel like even though Newt is the main character for this franchise, low-key Dumbledore is meant to be the main character as well. But they didn't want to make it a Dumbledore movie. Because ultimately, it's going to end when him and Grindelwald have their final duel. Like, that's where I'm pretty sure the franchise is going to end in all of that. So
it has to.
That's what's going to stem into the Harry Potter universe at the end of the day.
Wouldn't it be interesting if they didn't do that?
Yeah,
if there was another path that they could take.
Bitch.
You bitch! I want more gay.
Was
teleports into another universe. The whole universe is now a movie franchise.
We did get to see younger versions of the characters from the Harry Potter films in this movie, like.
McGonagall. She turns up.
That was cool.
That was fucking great.
Was Snape in there at all?
No.
Okay, because I had one kid who had the same fucking haircut.
No. Yeah.
And I was like, Snape is much younger. Why would he be at school right now?
Yeah.
But I didn't actually know whether he'd be in it or not.
Because he was of the same era as Harry's parents.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah,
and when I saw this kid who had the same hair and he was a student, I was like, are they just trying to throw some fucking like little Easter eggs in there, but they're not caring about time?
Could be his parents.
I don't know. It was weird. It was the kid who had his fucking mouth sealed up because he was picking on Lita Lestrange.
Wasn't that a girl?
I thought that was
a chick, babe.
Oh.
You weren't wearing your glasses, were you? Yeah.
Well, there you go. So
there you go. That makes sense now. Yeah.
Now it's confirmed.
That's
that
cool,
was
man.
a chick.
Snape's a girl.
Chick. No.
Oh.
You heard it here first. Snape is a woman.
She can be whoever she wants to be. She's beautiful. Oh, James Blunt should be in the next one.
Well, that'd be good.
Maybe.
That would be good.
Well, I feel like I haven't seen the movie now.
His Twitter is
You feel you gotta fucking go back and watch it now, huh?
With glasses.
Well, I'm definitely watching it a second time.
I feel like you need to because like we all said, it's kind of like there's so much that to be seen and like there are fuckloads of Easter eggs like that, like kind of like just little references to the other Harry Potter like stuff and like it keeps you in the same universe. I feel like for people who go into it who it's weird because I feel like there's a lot in it for Harry Potter fans, but I also feel like you can go in it and not know anything about Harry Potter and still like enjoy it.
That
Absolutely.
said, the people in the row in front of us were talking about, I haven't Wikipedia'd the last movie because I don't know what happened in it. And
it's Harry Potter. You can't go wrong with Harry Potter.
I'm pretty certain they were a couple of the people
with a cricket
who
bat.
were like, I didn't like that very much, and they just didn't get it because they didn't know what they were going into. They didn't know any of the story. So maybe don't watch it in isolation from literally every other film.
Yeah. That's the unfortunate side to getting a whole bunch of Instagram influencers who, will influence the world by, being a fashion person or a food critic or some shit and sending them to the movies thinking that their audience is going to work.
No.
We've had people sitting around us who were just like, well, I couldn't have thought of a worse way to spend. And I just wanted to punch that fucking guy in the head.
I called him out on it. I can't remember what I said.
I think you called him a twat or a wanker or something. I can't remember, but he was like,
at him
you're like, what past. A tool. Yeah. No, what a knob.
Yeah, I think
that was.
Because he was walking past going, well, that was a waste of half, an hour and a half. It's like, mate, that movie was very, very good. Like, it wasn't, it may not have been standout. It may not have been the best thing you'll ever see, but it was not a bad film. Like, it had all the bits you want to see to tie you in from the old, or the new Harry Potter universe. And it had all this new information that you were like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Like, there's a whole story. There's a whole universe going to, unfold itself in front of me.
Look, let's not forget the fact that they could have sent us to Predator, the new one.
I haven't seen that.
Which is fucking shit. Don't watch
it. Cool.
They could have sent us to, like, the worst fucking movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was still, like, a ticket to go see a new movie that's come out. Like,
you sit down, you have a nice time at the cinemas because going to the fucking movies is fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
God.
Fucking insane.
Shut up, everyone.
Fucking people.
I hate people.
If there's one thing I'm going to say about the movie that I probably didn't like,
criticism.
It was the editing.
I fucking love the editing.
No. Okay, in the sense that, you got a whole bunch of information in this movie.
Yes.
This movie is literally setting you up for the next 3.
Yes.
So I feel like in this movie there was probably another 2 hours or so that they could have put in.
Agreed.
But they literally condensed it. And the person who condensed it, obviously knowing the story, probably chopped the parts that he thought he could afford to chop out, but probably didn't
Once
realize it
you're
was going to
so
impact so
familiar
many
with
people
it.
who had not, who were coming with a complete blank slate.
So not from a creative perspective, but
God.
more a storytelling
Oh,
perspective.
absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Because there
I'll
were
be
parts
back.
of the movie where I'm just like,
I feel like
That's at around the same time, right?
nope, still going.
we're still going.
Okay, good.
Okay, cool.
Fuck, I thought
We've been experiencing some technical difficulties tonight, folks. So if Josh gets up and flashes his junk straight to the camera, it's because he's checking it.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, internet.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Not paranoia.
It's purely from a storytelling perspective that it was
Yeah.
frustrating that it felt like there were parts missing that kind of like they jumped ahead a lot.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and even with some of the script as well, like there was some parts where it felt like there was something completely glazed over.
Yeah.
And then there were other parts in the movie where you're just like, oh, this is happening, but now they're going to this. Why? Where's the in between there?
It's
But
definitely one of those things, like when you've edited anything, even like short little event videos and stuff, it's one of those things where the more you see it, the less time you need to see it to understand what the shot was or whatever was going on. So with, in the sense of a story, like you said, you become so familiar with it that you're like, oh yeah, you should get that by now. You just take for granted how much you know, and then you just breeze over things that are like, wait, hold on. There's a big plot point there. We need to slow down. But like you guys are both saying, it would have been a 4-hour film if you'd stopped at every one of
which I
those
would have
points
been
and
happy
gone.
with still.
Oh
but
yeah,
then
same.
but then they're falling into the like,
Except I had to
we'll make
pee.
it 6 films or like,
That's why we go
then
see
you
it again.
stretch
Yeah.
too much. It becomes like awkward where it's like you
Yeah.
can't really get 2 films out of it, so there's too much padding, and then you'd be going, oh, it was very slow.
Plus, I mean, this is kind of perfect for when they do the Blu-ray release and it's uncut or
Yeah.
you've got deleted scenes. You get to see all the extra bits.
Bigger, longer, and
some
uncut.
Gap filler. I think it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Um,
I was surprised about how much I liked Johnny Depp in it. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't go in there thinking I would hate him in there
Yeah.
because I pictured the Sweeney Todd thing. I can't remember if I said it on the show last week or
Yeah,
just
yeah,
in
you
conversation,
did.
but like, yeah, he did kind of go down that Sweeney Todd route a little bit, and
Yeah.
Charming and scary
Yeah.
and convincing and persuasive. Like
exactly.
Yes.
by the end of it, I was like, I'd fucking join him.
Yeah.
No, he was brilliant. He is exactly like, if you read the, okay, sorry.
turn on the microphone.
Like in the little snippets where you do hear of Grindelwald in the book, like you think of this commanding but charismatic character who just is so suave but like so enigmatic, and you can see why Dumbledore would want to pursue that.
That's why I wanted my D&D character to be. I'm just like, I just want to be fucking tripping and swagger.
Yeah, he was you can kind of tell that the way that they've written these characters, they're super like diplomatic.
Yeah.
They're like diplomats of like, the World War II era. You can see that they're just convincing in their words and
It's
they find ways
exactly
to find
that.
Yeah.
It's so reminiscent of like that whole thing of Hitler being a brilliant orator
Exactly.
and being able to speak and like command a crowd in the way he did.
Yeah.
And that is the same thing with Grindelwald. It's like the way he can just capture a room.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter
And
how fucking evil he is.
Exactly.
It's like,
It's not about what his message is. It's about the way he conveys it that like just brings people in.
Yeah.
And it's that whole thing. Like you can sort of put it on real history and sort of really tie everything together.
Yeah.
I like that.
It was actually really funny. Like I actually said to Dan in the car, like one thing I really noticed when he was speaking, like just when he was having his moments of speech, he's not actually conveying any sort of hatred or anything like that.
No,
It actually sounds
exactly.
very mutual, but I
Yeah.
think that's whole part of that brainwashing feel to make you feel like I want you to think one thing,
It's a false
get you
innocence.
Yeah.
get you
But he
emotionally
even said it
attached,
in
and then
one
I'm going to
bit.
say this.
But
and
he
you're
even
gonna
says it in
completely
one
fuck
bit where he's like, about, we're not monsters, or we're not inhumane, or whatever the word was, like, and then, the other thing happens.
it's a stark contrast to Voldemort.
Yeah.
Who just drips
Evil.
Evil. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
walks around and he's like, muggles
snake
of
face.
filth, and he has all these people around him that are like scary and they're horrible and they're purebloods and stuff like that. But Grindelwald stands in a circle, like surrounded by a crowd of people who are all purebloods, but you don't feel any hatred or
Yeah.
but it's scary as fuck to see him standing there, like the blonde hair, and he's just like walking around in a circle talking to all these people, and everyone's just fucking captured and shit.
Yeah.
It was so fucking sexy.
Oof.
Do you know what?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, go on, go on.
No. I was gonna. My point is totally
Mine's a
different.
tangent.
Yeah.
Mine's a tangent.
Oh,
All I
jeez.
was gonna say was that I actually one of my favorite things about this film, and it's like it happens in the very first few minutes of the movie,
Yeah.
and it literally has nothing to do with the story.
Yeah.
But I loved the fucking way they transfer prisoners from their cell
Yes.
to like the carrying cell where they're like hogtied with fucking spells
And like
in the
hovering
air.
and shit.
Yeah, and they're
Whoa.
like flying face down, and
Yeah.
their legs are up in the air, their arms are behind them in the air, and they just look like they're like mangled.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fucking sick. That was literally one thing that I pointed out because I was just like,
And the Thestrals in the beginning, like
Yeah.
the whole opening sequence where it's like Grindelwald gets taken from his cell and they're trying to take him somewhere else, and they put him in the back of like this carriage, and but all the Thestrals are standing around, and it's like, ooh, and it's raining, and you're like, ooh, and it's dark, and it's storming, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is ominous as shit. And then all this shit happens, and you're like, fucking magic can be dark and scary. And that, I was like, I'm so excited to see scary sides of magic and shit.
It
Because it's like,
definitely isn't aimed in the way like you know
At
how
kids.
Harry Potter films started out as kids' films
Yeah.
and then grew with the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has continued to grow through
Totally.
that gap,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so now it's like we are not talking to like 7 to 10-year-olds here. We're talking to like 17 to 30-year-olds here.
And I think
And
it's
it's
to
serious
highlight
themes.
how dark the times were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in that time
Yeah.
period. Because I said to Chloe, one of my other favorite things was that I really enjoyed the way they did Harry Potter 7 and 8
yeah, me too.
because it was so like it showed us this world of a kid who's grown up in this wizarding world, and then you learn how fucking dark things have gotten
Yeah.
And
just
shitty.
how important
And people
it
are
is for
dying
them to do
around
stuff.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a troll in the dungeon anymore. It's like, oh yeah, like it's essentially a massive race war.
It's war.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this felt like
And
that.
it carries on
Yeah.
into this, and you're like,
Yeah.
it doesn't go away. It's like, just because it's the, Wizarding World of Magic where you can fucking Oculus Reparo your shit together, but it's like, you can't Oculus unfuck a war,
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Well, in saying that, like, this is actually meant to go into World War II, so they're not in World War II
That's
yet.
right.
It's just post World War
Okay.
One. So
Yeah.
this was 1927 that we watched. So we have another 18 years until it goes into the end of World War II, which is when that battle is meant to take place. Like JK
Right.
pretty much teed everything up to be in line with World War II, which is
So
gonna be
fucking
really,
keen
really fascinating.
to see magic. Because you see it, Grindelwald is talking about, I think he's talking about the Muggle world, basically. They're
Yeah.
like, they have wars and shit like that, and they have evil in their
shows a
world.
nuke.
And he shows
Yeah.
the fucking war that's happening, and people are like, what the fuck is that? And Jacob's like, oh god, not another war.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, tingles.
Yeah.
You know something I liked? It was some
Dobby.
very no. This is from a technical point.
Oh.
And we talked about this. The shot, like the lens choices and the way it was shot. I think it was a lot of close to the subject, quite wide lenses with like a shallow depth of field, and it creates this real distortion and sort of
Oh, yeah.
weirdness to it. That they use that quite a bit early on.
It kind of,
Right,
it
yeah.
throws you off in that you look at it and you're like, something's kind of not right, but then it totally works for the whole,
Yeah.
you're a wizard, Harry, kind
Yeah.
of thing. It's like,
Yeah.
that this world, is different
different.
to yours. And so
Yeah.
the way that I liked all the like cinematography and
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
shit
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
I really
And the
enjoyed
music
that.
was fucking mad.
Well, that kind of shit is what makes a movie.
Exactly.
To be honest.
Yeah.
It's what makes it decent.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
The music is
production
so
value is the
iconic.
difference between like, a good story that was poorly told and like a proper cinematic event
Yeah.
that you're like, wow, that blew me away.
Yeah, I mean, look, we sat and watched, and this is a different movie, but we sat and watched 2.5 hours worth of dancing, which then became a movie about witches.
Yep.
But we watched that movie with our eyes glued to it, waiting for something to happen for 2.5 hours because cinematography
Because it was a
good.
fucking
Yeah,
beautiful
and it was
movie.
it was interesting because back to that one, they were like drip feeding just enough information to keep you interested,
Yeah.
and it was that kind of thing.
Dude, it fucked up my mind.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
I feel like I needed therapy, and then I got over it.
Closing thoughts on Fantastic Beasts 2.
Captivating. Like, I'm so intrigued for what is going to come up in the next few stories, and I have all these ideas in my head, and I can't keep my magic boner down.
Love those magic boners.
Is that why there's a hole in your pants?
Maybe.
It's from all the brownies. Sorry. Keeping my fat friends fat so they can't run away from me. Never leave me.
This is part 2 of a 5-part series because they've signed on for 5 movies
Jizz.
in this world. I think it's mad.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's mad, and I hope anyone that's watched this spoiler session has watched it first or has gone and seen it first,
Yeah.
and then they've come and watched this so that they can actually discuss this stuff with us. Because
Yeah.
I think that was the best thing about this. I spent the whole trip home from the movie discussing what I thought was great about it.
Yeah.
And that was probably one of the most fun things about this movie. It's like so good that you want to talk about it.
And if you didn't watch the movie before you listen to this, if you're like one of those crazy people, just keep an eye out for all the things we mention and sort of give us your thoughts in the comments, because I want to know what other people's takes are on the things we thought. Because like we all have similar views on a lot of it.
Yeah.
I want to hear the other side of the coin if there were people who didn't like it, because I want to get inside their heads.
There was totally.
But also, if you loved it, tell me what you loved about it.
Yeah, there were like people we spoke to did pick up things that they didn't like about the film because it was like different to maybe the way the story was told in some of the Harry Potter lore.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what people think sucked.
Yeah.
I particularly would like to think what everyone thinks of the biggest spoiler at the end that we haven't discussed. So if anyone wants to talk about that,
Give us your theories, but maybe like find a way to blank out your comments or just don't read them.
I'm still undecided.
If you're watching this, try not to spoil things in the comments. Like, just be courteous. But if you're also watching this and you've watched through spoilers, then it doesn't matter. But try not to spoil it for everybody in the comments. I liked it.
Yeah.
I really liked it. Newt as a character, I love him so much because he's not the bold, brave hero. He's not,
he's different.
He's different.
Yeah.
He's a little, he loves his animals, and he's like, I'm not meant to be fighting. And it's kind of like, I don't know, it gave me a lot of courage to be like, yeah, you can be different and you can still be a hero. And like, I don't know, I love his character a lot. So I really enjoy the Fantastic Beasts movie more than the Harry Potter movies personally, because it's like, these are
really love
the unsuspecting heroes.
They definitely made him much more endearing.
Yeah.
This movie. Well, no, I shouldn't say they, I should say Eddie fucking Redmayne.
He fucking crushed it.
He's
So
also really
good.
good. He's, to me, this was Batman and Joker, but we had Newt and Grindelwald.
In Wizard World.
They complement each other as characters.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how they do together in future until the torch is passed over to Mr. Dumbledore.
Get more gay. That's my only criticism. More gay, please. I want to see how that goes. Anyway. All right.
You've been promised actually for more gay. David Yates apparently is intending for more gay. He wanted to be subtle in this movie.
Oh, Gabby.
So prepare
Control
for
your
more
boner.
gay in 3, 4, and 5.
Heck yeah. All right,
I
guys.
loved it. Go watch it.
Cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Josh, did you tell us whether you loved it?
Not really.
I
But
think we got
loved,
the vibe.
I loved it. I love the character of Newt. Go watch the film, and I want to go and watch it again because
I do
I think
too.
I missed a lot of little bits, and
I
I'd
wanna
love to like pick
Yay,
up on
movie
that.
day!
Yay. All right, guys, remember, if you've survived this far, remember to subscribe and like this video. You can leave us comments below in the doobly-doo. You can follow us in all the social medias, and if you want to talk to us about the movie, come hit us up. Feel free to share your stories about what you like, what you didn't like.
If you wanted to discuss the spoilery parts of the film,
Private message.
Discord.
message us
DM
and then
or
just leave us
Discord.
a comment.
We have a
comment.
Discord with spoilers.
Shall we make a channel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe a temporary channel?
I think we
If
might have a
there's
spoilers channel, don't
We
we?
do.
There was.
We do have a
Did we get rid of
spoiler
it?
one.
I don't
know.
remember.
We'll figure it out.
Anyway.
Leave us a comment and tell us that you're in the Discord and want to
Come
have a
say
chat
hi.
about it.
Yeah, talk to us.
Because, comments on our videos also helps us, get
And share the stuff.
Get
Thank
out
you.
there.
We love you. God. All right, guys. Until next week, take it easy. Bye-bye.
See ya.